So, as some of you know, Severblight is from a TF2 or two TF2 creators that made a myth called the Severblight, where basically it's a bunch of player models squished together and it kind of traps them in, but doesn't particularly kill them. So I thought, what if it was in Yeeps? As we know, Yeeps is a VR game that is pretty popular. It's really cool. But today what we'll be looking at is what maps are the most survivable and the least survivable. Starting off with Gnome Capital, I would give this a 8.5 out of 10 survivability rate, and here's why. So, first, got this big open area. The Severblight wouldn't take, if it was in VR, it would not take up that much space, obviously. So you got this big open space, and then you would have to, let's say you had to escape through going to a different map. There are so many different maps to go into in this area. So you could easily escape this unless you are down here, which, let's say these aren't here because these are going to be limited being here. You would still have these areas, but like this place would be way less survivable because first of all, it is way less open. Second of all, if you're trying to get back up, you either have to use the vines, which would take too much time, or use these right here, which would also take up too much time. And it's just way less survivable down there because there's not much stuff to climb on, and yeah. So final decision is 8.5 out of 10. Now in Snow Village here, I give it a 7 out of 10. There are way less exits. There's only 2, as of now at least. If you're in an igloo, you're pretty much done for. In this area, if you get frozen by one of those, you're done for. But there are these guys, which in the original Severblight thing, the Severblight can be damaged and killed, but it'll still respawn. So these guys could potentially damage and kill the Severblight for a second. And so those guys down there, hold on. Those guys down there could potentially kill or at least damage the Severblight, because they will still hurt the Severblight no matter what. So those guys will still kill the Severblight, you know. Also, there are a lot of places where you could probably escape or hide from the Severblight. If you come down here, there's this thing. This thing is really good for escaping. Just go like this, boom, boom, boom. Grab onto these, boom, you're up. You also have that little area down there. If you do manage to get both of the keys to get in there, that's a really safe place. So final decision is 7 out of 10 due to the not many exits, and yeah, so 7 out of 10. Third map we're gonna be looking at is Nokia. Really just this whole city thing, which I give this a 5 out of 10. Due to the amount of enclosed spaces. Sure, it is a very big map and there's a lot of places you can escape. But if you're in a building, you're cooked. Because look at these. You were not telling me that you cannot, like, you can, if you're up here, sure you can jump out the window, but if you're talking like one of these, breaking a window will not be good, and if it's downstairs, you're kind of just cooked because there's not really many places to go. This is true for most of the buildings in this map, but one building I do want to point out is that big, tall, red building over there. So if we go into it, we can see that it is just, it's not that spacious. Again, not really that spacious. And it's mostly vertical, really. So this could be potentially a good place to escape and hide. Because the Severblight is getting smarter. In the original thing, the Severblight does get smarter, but it also kind of just goes for the kill. It doesn't think a whole lot. It just gets smarter by using more voices that it collects. So this building could potentially be a good place to hide. You just hide right over here. It might not find you, and it could be a nightmare for the Severblight climbing up of this, due to, you know, it being a bunch of player models or just one that's really distorted. So this is a 5 out of 10. There are some good places to escape, like up there, but it's really not that consistent on being, you know, a good place. It's not really consistent on being spacious, which is a big no-no. Anyways, that's all that I have for you today because I'm lazy and I'm not going through every map. There's like 20 billion of them. So that is it. In conclusion, in Yeeps, the Severblight would be much more dangerous than in TF2 because, first of all, it mixes, when you're in the same lobby as a Severblight, mixes you in with the computer or whatever you're playing on to play TF2. And in Yeeps, you would probably feel everything. So using any form of just using, let's say you want to jump off something, you're gonna feel that when you land and it's gonna hurt. So a lot of items won't really work. Also, in water maps with water, you can drown, but so could the Severblight wouldn't really drown, I guess. But in conclusion, it would be much more dangerous in Yeeps than TF2. So, thank you for watching. Today I don't got chalky milk, but I got hot cocoa. Cheers.